Yeah. So anyway, Herod is rewarded by the Romans to get the kingdom of Judah. Why that? Because the Jews want a Jewish king, and Herod is Jewish enough for the Romans. He's not Jewish enough for the Jews. You see the whole conflict. And Herod knows in a day where maybe the Roman will not be behind him, there might be a rebellion and he has to flee. And he will flee to Mama, to his homeland, and where the people will receive him. You know, all his Jewish friends are very good Jewish friends until he's in trouble. Then he has no more friends. And he knows that. They're either afraid of him or they want his money or his influence, but they surely don't love him for himself. And that's why Herod builds not one, but 3 fortresses on his escape route. Masada, from Jerusalem to Petra. And by the way, close to Jerusalem, close to Bethlehem, the place he liked to be, and where he will be eventually buried, Herodium. They're in a straight line. Jerusalem, Herodium, Masada, and Petra. And another one on the other side, in Jordan of today, it's called Machaerus. Why that? Did I tell you that Herod liked to live in Jericho? You know, 4 months a year, it's a long time. Imagine a rebellion start when he's in Jericho. He cannot come to Masada. There's no road. The mountains fall in the sea. There's no passage here. So he will take the regular road,
Because
cross the Jordan.
the sea was higher then.
And even also there's no road, there's no water enough for an army. And the terrain is, the road we took yesterday and that we are going to take, it's a modern road, 1971. There was no road, never a road on this side of the Dead Sea. But there's the King's Highway. So Herod could cross the Jordan, do the Israelite road backwards, go to Ammon or Amman, and then slowly to Machaerus and eventually to Petra. Imagine, he created escape routes covering all the possibilities. Did he use one of them? No. Why? But because he lived in keeping the people in terror and killed his enemies in the crib. Even imaginary enemies. So he died in his own bed, never had to quell a rebellion that will endanger his life. There were rebellions, but it was never dangerous for him. Now you understand how this man was very cruel, but on the other side, he had a burning ambition. He wanted to be Herod the Great. And he won, by the way. The authors, you know, Greek and Romans, call him Herod the Great. They did not call Vespasian the Great, Nero the Great. There's a very few greats in history. You have Alexander the Great, 300 years before Herod, and 300 years after Herod is Constantine, or Constantine the Great. There's not much the Great. Herod is one of them. And yet, when you consider it, he's a small, is a king of a faraway, small province of Rome. He should not have been known at all. But everybody's talking about him, thanks to his building. And of course, because he got the possibility to be written in the New Testament.
That's right.
Not for his good deeds. Okay? So that's a little bit. And Herod built a fortified palace. I suggest let's walk. You know what I told you? Meeting by the cable car. The meeting could be here in case you are tired or you want to return. Meeting should be here because that will be on our way to the exit. We'll be
Now, how is he
returning, yes.
connected to the Herod of Jesus' time?
That is
And there are a couple. Herod the Great is the one who ordered the killing of the babies. Remember that?
Yes, yes.
This
So
is the
this
one.
is the
But then he
same
died.
guy.
That's the same guy.
Okay.
After that, his son, Herod Antipas, is the one who killed John the Baptist and was ruling at the time when Jesus was a judge, was
Okay.
crucified. That's
Okay.
Herod Antipas.
Okay.
Okay. There's his brother, Herod Philip, is ruling on the other side of the Sea of Galilee. He built Caesarea Philippi. It's not a big story in the New Testament. He's just mentioned the city
This,
of
but
Philip.
this is the Herod of at the birth of Christ.
Yes.
And he died when?
He died in 4 BC. That you raised the important question. Herod the Great died in 4 BC. So scholars say, how could he order the massacre of the babies, of the innocents, after he was dead? Since Jesus must have been born. So if Jesus was born in year 1, and Herod died in -4, we have a problem. Houston, yes? We have a problem. It is sold by scholars who say that the calendar, what we call the Gregorian calendar, was written by some monk and pope called Gregorius, and he just calculated and miscalculated based on a lot of things, and he placed the birth of Jesus on the beginning of his calendar that we use today, but actually he did not calculate well. So, which means that Jesus was not born in year 1 or year 0, if you want to call it, but probably in year 6 BC. Interesting complication, but that's what is more accepted. Thank you for confirming.
You have the blessing.
So in that case,
We're only
also-
talking about 6 years, not millions.
So in that case also Jesus, I don't know if the dinosaurs were born BC or AD. Sometimes you say it was 2 million years ago, and as people ask me, BC.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, also. What is 2,000 years more?
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so let's
How
start
many
moving.
wives did
Sorry?
this man have?
He had many. Look, he was a
Oh,
big
yes,
king.
how many?
He had many. We don't have a count.
Listen, folks, you are so blessed. We are so blessed today. It can be 110 degrees here in the shade.
It will be later.
Oh, it feels good. It does feel breezy. It's beautiful, huh, Dad?
It's beautiful.
Oh, look at that.